Hello, this is Annös, and welcome to this tutorial about on how to use the Refine Edge tool. Now, this is going to be a beginner's class or beginner's tutorial. This is not ideal for really complex backgrounds because, as you can see, the background of the Joker is only white, so it's actually very easy to remove. What happened? Okay, anyway, I'll unpop that. I did that by holding Alt and double click, and I copied that with Control J because I like having a backup. But if you're curious about this red thing, it's nothing special. At least I don't think it's anything special. It's available in all CS, I think. If you right click, that's the default. There's black, there's dark gray, there's medium gray, light gray, but I prefer my color. No, wait, now I'm going to use the gray. Yeah. Nope. I don't know. Anyway, this is going to be me showing you how to use the quick one tool or a selection tool. And this is not going to be edited, so any mistakes that I do, you'll see, because that's the whole point of a beginner's tutorial, isn't it? For you to see the mistakes that one can make with this. To show you if it is the most ideal method for removing a subject from a background. Now, in my opinion, in my experience, this is not the best, but this is the quickest way to remove. And besides, when you're making photo manipulation of a dark concept, ignore this. Please ignore this, because this. Yep, this is the speed of my computer. This is how slow it takes my computer to process the quick selection tool. Yay! Anyway, so again, what was I saying? Yeah, when you're making dark concept photo manipulations or anything darkish, depending on what you're gonna do, if it's going to be kind of bright, but in my case, the manipulations that I like to do are kind of abstract, so selections, come on, select. By the way, okay, I missed. I'm gonna go in. I did that by holding Alt and rolling my mouse wheel up or upwards. Yeah, still loading and lagging some more. It looks okay. Anyways, what was I saying? Abstract photo manipulation. Abstract dark. By the way, to go to the Refine tool, you go to Select and then click on Refine Edge. I believe that Refine Edge was introduced in CS2, if I'm correct, or maybe CS3. I'm not sure, really, but I know it's CS and it's very useful. Actually, the process of this only takes what? It only takes me less than a minute to get a proper selection. It's only lagging very slow. I think it's because I'm recording at the same time and doing this thing. So anyway, one of the benefits of a video being unedited is, well, you can see the mistakes that I do and you can learn something from them. Like, as you can see that decoloration too strong. So what was I saying? Back to the topic. Basically, you mess around with the feather, the contrast, and to get the result that you want. Which in the case of our subject here, which is in the white background, isn't really that apparent. So I'm not really going to explain too much because it's not really apparent. I'm only going to explain this when I use a future advanced selection with a complex background. And if I do that, or when I do that, we're going to be using channels, because that's actually the proper way of doing very complex images. It might take you, if you're a beginner or someone who's not very familiar with the channels, it might take you a good 10 minutes to do a very complex one. It might even take you 40 minutes to do one. Anyway, if you have noticed what I'm doing is I'm holding Alt to go to select the negative something. Basically, it's subtracting or erasing the selection that the Quick Refine tool did for me. So I'm actually restoring, in a way, the original layer. Yeah, the original layer. So what was I saying? Let's go back to the abstracting. The abstracting is, in my case, the kind of abstract that I do, they don't really matter if they're that superly, finely, selectively cut out, or whatever the proper term is. Okay, because I use it in the background and I use adjustment layers to not make the awful selections obvious. And as you can see here, so you have an idea, I'm gonna fill the background with black. I did that with Control backspace or Alt backspace, depending on what your setting is. And if I'm gonna erase some of these using a hard edge, I did it by right-clicking on the screen, the black screen. You have to click on the right screen. It doesn't work on the outside of the black screen. So I'm gonna go really, really close and remove some of these white things. By the way, let's just make it clear, if it wasn't, that this is not the ideal, this is not the most ideal form of selection or removing something from a background, especially if the background is complex, meaning not white. By the way, here's a neat trick. You can use the selection tool, select that, go to mask, and then fill it with black, and there you go. And you can easily just burn that. It's pretty easy, and once you get used to it, okay, bad idea. I'm gonna do this manually. I'm gonna go in, and I'm just gonna, I guess, mask out the whites, or paint in black, or paint with black to remove. Yeah, you really have to go in sometimes, but anyway, I would remind you again that this is not the ideal form, but this is a quick and easy way for any beginner. If you want to get your subject removed from a simple background like a white or one solid color and nothing too complex, this is the tool for you. So that was it. It's that simple. It actually only takes 1 minute. It doesn't take, like, I don't know how long this is, but it doesn't take this long. It only takes me 1 minute or less. So that was it. Enjoy!